What's going on, my Leo Collective? Welcome to your understory reading, which is your new moon reading. So this is kind of taking us some interesting places. I thought the understory captured the essence of new moon energy, this creative energy. It's things unseen, things that aren't immediately obvious, new beginnings. Just excellent, excellent energy. And it was really loud. It was quite loud. So I created a specific spread for this reading in particular. We're going to dive in. I'm so excited to share it with you. So stay tuned. Yes, so let us do this here. I'm gonna get the sort of overview and theme for the reading. So, Spirit, can you please give me some messages for my Leo Collective, please? Leo Collective for their understory creative energy reading, please, and thank you. Okay, so you got two. Oh, look at you, Leo. It's your birthday season. I feel like I'm an honorary Leo, but so we have water and creation. Okay, water and creation. And we also have transformation and pressure. So, I'm hearing diamonds, like the way diamonds are made, like diamond 111 was on the time. Diamonds are made with this like transformation, right? It's a transformation with pressure. And it's almost like water is the flow, like this creation, this making process. Okay, let's see where we go. Happy birthday to you, my Leo friends. Happy birthday to you. All right, Spirit, what messages do you have for Leo, please? Messages for Leo for this understory reading. Messages for Leo. So you have the King of Wands. Control. I almost get this as like an aspect of Emperor energy. Control. So this is the inhale position. So what you're kind of taking in. So we have inhale, exhale, and then we have, on the breeze, which is, I think of the wind as sort of the internet for animals. And it's sort of how spores travel in the understory. So it's sort of like information and wisdom from guidance in your best and highest growth and good. So we have King of Swords. We also have awareness. So that is the 7 chariot. So yeah, 5, 6, 7. 7, so that's the chariot. What else do we have here for Leo, Spirit? Messages for Leo, please. Okay, that's too many. Do you want all of them? No. Okay. Messages for Leo, please. Success. So this is 6 of Wands. Excellent. That's beautiful. So now we're going to get this bridging energy and see what messages and things to keep in mind, wisdom that meets you on the path for this new moon energy. At the outset, I feel like you're kind of... the inhale is sort of this hermit energy. I felt it embodied as like the hermit energy, right? So it's almost like you're understanding your own power and what control you have. Be this over your destiny, over projects you're working on in relationships. This is understanding your own power. It is an air energy, which is not necessarily, your fiery placement there, Leo, but I'm getting that this is sort of about you understanding your own power. You understanding your own power, not just, and so two things, your own power as a source of wisdom, but then I think that you're understanding what to do with that next. On the exhale, you have the chariot energy, which is motion energy. It's emotion, it's Cancerian energy, which is deeply felt, I'm hearing. It is an energy deeply felt. And then we move into on the breeze. There's this 6 of Wands and success, which is another kind of motion, right? It's another variation of motion, a minor arcana version, which is sort of like the activation of an everyday motion, as opposed to a larger lesson, activation, larger lesson motion, that kind of idea. So, on the breeze. Let's see where we go here. Spirit, what messages do you have to bridge this energy for Leo? The Devil. Okay, so some Capricorn energy. Could be about process. The stories you're telling yourself about your process. It's almost like releasing control, I'm getting, though. Like maybe the inhale is realizing how much control you have, but there's a difference between power and control here, Leo, right? You can have power and that you don't need control over things, because that is, it's a different, more spiritually grounded form of it, right? So a little bit less inclined to sort of take you away, Calgon, as it were. Calgon, take me away. So we have the Emperor. This showed up for Aries, actually. So this is your fire energy, Leo. This is great. Emperor and the Knight of Cups. So this is about your control is in the heart center, but that's your power, right? That's your power. It's sort of like your power source. I'm hearing furnace. It's like your furnace internally. So it's not really like it's not so much a it's not so much something you really have to do a whole lot about and within. This is also, I'm hearing potentially about boundaries, because that's sort of what naturally flows from you and in your energy when you are in a place of understanding your own power, your own depth. Right? When you're understanding all of that energy, there are so many things that we spend time articulating that we just don't need to anymore because it just flows to us. It just flows, right? It flows beautifully. So that's that bridging energy here. And I think that that's what's bringing in this success in the everyday. It's almost like there's an overarching story here where there needs to be a little bit of an inhale, like on the breath in, deep breathing on the breath in. Remember how much power you have. Remember that source of power is within you. It's your heart center, the Knight of Cups and the Emperor. That's your fire source, right? That's where your fire gets stoked, is your passion, your excitement, your sincere, like this is like sincere excitement, right? And it's almost like the Emperor is showing up here in this control released. What happens? Well, things start moving. If you've been feeling stuck, that could be part of why, where it's just releasing and not control in the sense of, not taking accountability or taking steps in the in-between. This is about releasing yourself from the need to do everything, right? The universe needs to have a hand in some things too, Leo. So just remember that, okay? Just remember that. Now let's do some clarification here. Let's see where this takes us. Spirit, what messages do you have to clarify for Leo? And I think too that this is just about enjoying yourself. It's your birthday season. Enjoy yourself, damn it. Yeah, this is your time to shine. Like, of all the times, Leo, this is your time. Do it. Spirit, what messages do you have for my Leo pals here to clarify this new moon understory reading? That is the Page of Wands. Maybe you haven't done this, because maybe you feel like you need a little bit more control than normal or usual because there's something new that you're offering of yourself, right? There's this Page of Pentacles and Page of Wands, this like grounded fire, but this is possibly also two opportunities or two things in your energy right now. Could be two people, Capricorn, or why did I say Capricorn? That's interesting. I was looking at the Devil, so that's not. It could be you could be dealing with a Capricorn, but this is more earth and fire energy. Yeah. Okay, so we have this just like fell right out. I was going to ask about this, like why we felt the need to control potentially, and then what it is that we're sort of exhaling and why. And I got this really interesting, and just interesting because it's such a sharp difference to this new energy, this fresh energy, how you're handling things, releasing control. And maybe you feel a bit like you're going to be too new at something, right? I've been there too. I dislike feeling silly, right? And but you have to do it, right? There's like my South Node is in the 5th house, which is yours. And so it's like I have this inclination towards silly anyway. So when I'm learning something new, it's like I have to be deliberate in being in that energy and understanding that if I'm in that energy when I'm, just having a good time or, it's okay to embody that energy as well when I'm trying to learn something new and integrate it. So just keep that in mind, Leo. But so on this awareness, so this Chariot card here, this forward movement, this also, there's a blue flame in it. Interesting. I didn't see that until just now. Could be working with Archangel Michael. Could be. And I feel like there's this, you might have needed to or felt compelled to have a hand in things because there's this 3 of Swords here, which tells me a little bit about either disappointment or heartbreak. That can sting pretty badly, right? It can really bind your energy up. And interesting about this is that it's the red of the root chakra, and I'm getting this sense of safety, right? Like there might have been a safety in numbers, right? Safety in the number of things that you could control, safety in the number of ways that you were sure or certain of things, right? Even though there's so much that we can't control, Leo, right? It might have made you feel more secure and stable. But I feel like you're moving away from that. And the Five of Swords is here as well, which tells me that it might have a little bit to do, not just with the stories that you've been telling yourself with this Devil card, but a little bit of, this feeling of like conflict was the way, like, when you're in that place of needing to control outcomes and needing to, and I say that because it literally says control here, and that's the way that this energy is showing up here. When you have that need to control things, or to have a hand in outcomes, what can sometimes happen is you start to feel like conflict is the way. Like you start to feel like conflict is just normal. Chaos that comes from conflict is the variations of it, and what end of it you're on tell you whether you're on the right path or not, which can be really, that can bind your energy up. So it might be useful to do a blue flame clearing. I'm still trying to understand that energy. But what I've experienced is just asking Archangel Michael to come in, and I'll say, please clear my energy with the blue flame and the sword of truth, and also repair the places in my aura. So clear it from my auric fields and my auric layers, my chakra and energy centers, please, and please help to heal the places in my aura that attach to any cords or expectations in the first place. And right, it's not just about like clear it and cut it out. No, this is about the preventative as well, and understanding and cultivating our own energy in a way that heals in the long term. This isn't just like the short term energy, right? This is longer term that we're looking at. So that's sort of what I do. And when I do that, I'll be doing it, and I do it at night when it's quiet, the room is dark. I close my eyes and I can feel the blue, like I can feel the blue. And it's almost like I hear like this static rip, right? Like this static rip, like if clothes were stuck together in the dryer and I peel them off, that static sound is what happens when I invoke that energy. So just visualizing that, even the blue just going through your energy. Like if you wear socks all day or whatever, and then you take a lighter to them, don't do this because it's not fire safe. And I was doing this when I was in my teens, but if you take a lighter to it, it burns away all the lint, right? Think about the blue flame as acting in that same way, as like burning away all the lint and the excess junk that built up in your energy through the day. So consider doing that, not just to clear, but to also heal, right? To heal in the long term, not just, the shorter gains of like, well, I've cut the cord, so I'm fine. No, because there's a reason why it was there in the first place, one. And two, there's attachments that were built up that facilitated that connection or facilitated that attachment or facilitated that. So until you address it in your energy, it's just going to keep coming back with different faces, different experiences. I don't know why this is such a focus, but I feel like there's like, it's been a bit of maybe a block or something that's just been stuck in your energy a little bit, because it's on the Chariot and it's clarifying that. And the good news is that you do move through this, whether you do this with the blue flame or not. It is something that's a motion through and in your energy, right? And again, Cancerian energy is very heart-centered, and emotional, I should say, like very emotionally connected. But I think of your heart as your, emotional center and your emotional grounding. So I think that this Emperor and Knight of Cups is really about being connected to your heart center, and in a controlled way that isn't about, it's like being it's in your element, one, because it's fire, this Emperor energy with Aries. But to me, this is coming across more so as you don't need to control things because you know who you are. And when you stand in that really is a superpower. That becomes a superpower because, your perception of control changes because you don't need to control outcomes. And the unknowns are really exciting sometimes, right? The unknowns become exciting. Thrilling even, to be honest, thrilling even. So we have the Six of Wands here on success. Spirit, what messages do you have for my Leo pals here for this understory new moon reading? I feel like there are new opportunities here for you. That is the Nine of Swords. Yeah, worry. A lot of worry, though, Leo. And it could just be anxiety about doing it. I'm hearing it doing it well, or doing it not right. But there's like an efficacy that you're reaching for because of the cards and the way they're laid out here, right? With this learning, but being in control, and the stories that you're telling yourself about it with this Devil card, amidst the disappointment energy of the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords. There's a lot of thinking, like a lot of overthinking. A lot of overthinking here, and that can be a way of maintaining control, right? It can be a way of maintaining control in the absence of effective boundaries. It could be a way of maintaining control in the absence of boundaries. So what messages do you have for my Leo pals here? And we have the Eight of Pentacles. Beautiful. That's the kind of mastery and over. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles here. That's perfect. Oh, Leo. Oh, that wanted to follow too. Two of Pentacles. So this is a kind of separate story altogether. The signs have been getting a lot of butterflies lately. Specifically the fire signs, though. But anyways, so we have the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles clarifying the Six of Wands, which tells me that there's some measure of success to this. But what matters more is that you're doing this in a way that you don't have to worry about, which I respect the hell out of, right? Because that's like doing things effectively enough and well enough that you're not worrying about the outcome. You're doing them well enough that they're integrated, yes, but there's also an aspect of this that it's like you don't have to worry about output because you know that you're good with you, with whatever this is. If this is a relationship, this can also be a relationship, right? Where you're trying to control an outcome, and control an outcome can just mean trying to like be someone you're not. It's like that just, I can't do it. It's part of the ASD stuff with being on the spectrum. It's I can't do it. I don't understand it, right? But there are times where we can hide ourselves and we don't realize that we're doing it, and that's the unconscious piece. But if this is a relationship, it could be an aspect of that. But I think it's also about a sort of declaration of what's most important to you, and understanding that you're going to feel like a beginner. You're going to feel new at things. It's okay. It's normal. It's normal. So during this new moon, I do feel like what is new here, is this perhaps this sense of self, not that you know you can do things, not that you can do hard things, to quote Glennon Doyle, but more so that you can do things that mean a lot to you, more so that you can do things that are helpful to your energy, that cultivate it as opposed to drain it, right? And I do think there's an aspect of being deeply protected here, and deeply protected. But I think that this Nine of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, to me, it's really about understanding what gives you wings, like feathering your nest, but also the balance that gives you wings, right? Whatever it is in your perspective that needs to be balanced right now, I think is going to be. But what I find so interesting is that the overthinking is taking place in the context of the swords. The control is all in the swords here, and the feeling and the forward movement are in the fire and the pentacles, right? Like the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles alongside the Two of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles. Like it's like it's overthinking things, and I think you've overthought things enough. Now it's your time, Leo, to just feel. Now it's your time to experience joy, to be able to touch and hold joy, the sensory experience of joy. What is that now? Your best laid plans, amazing. You've done everything you need to do. Now you get to experience the joy, but you have to let it in, and you have to release control and surrender to the process, to the flow, in order to let that happen. So that is your new moon reading, your understory. This is what's happening in your understory, Leo. This is really beautiful. It may not feel like it at first, but I think that there's some great transformation taking place. So don't be afraid to say yes, even if you feel like a little new at something. It's okay. That's the nuance that helps you realize that you're growing your wings here with this balance, right? So if this resonated, please give it a like and subscribe. I'd love to have you on the channel if you are not already. If you are, thank you so much for watching from my subscriber base. I really appreciate it. And you, there are other ways you can connect with me on the channel, so feel free to check that out. But if this is where we part, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, I hope that it finds you very well, Leo. Take care.